The challenge of managing the welfare of internally displaced persons, IDPs, in Benue State appears to be getting tougher. The Benue State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, says 80 babies were delivered in IDP camps in the state in 7 months. The Executive Secretary of SEMA, Emmanuel, said it is difficult to control sex among displaced persons as most of them are staying with their partners. This, he said, accounted for the high number of births recorded in the camps.
How do you go about stopping? No, how do you want to stop people from having sex? It's not part of your job now. IDPs are created because there was a schism in the system that let them live in their own.
That render the man jobless.
And you automatically assume because it's jobless, it's also doesn't have any hormones.
That is an instrument.
It's also jobless. But it's the contradiction in terms. Because you all know that the poorer you are, the more active you become in that particular area. And that's the correlation there.
The theory has been...
And we've seen very poor people,
very poor people
whose wives give birth to quintuplets, sextuplets. They don't, poor people. I remember one...
The other will run away.
Organizer, he fled now. The moment he heard that this was what happened, he took to his heels.
And besides, you are talking about only average of 10 babies per month.
Rich people's their own wives are never that fertile to give birth to sextuplets or quintuplets.
As if they give birth at all.
So
the poorer you are, the more active you are.
Yes.
It's just law of nature.
Jide, this stems from the fact that we need to do something about our population. The way and the rate at
but this is not even their fault.
At all.
Criminal headsmen go into people's communities,
sack them,
kill people, burn their houses, and then turn them to refugees in their country. For those who have been to that IDP camp in Benue State, I've been there before. You know, there was a time when there was serious flooding. They also moved into the IDP camp. They lost their homes, lost their farms, moved there. But for a lot of these people, it is criminal headsmen
that sack their communities,
and then force them to become IDPs. It's not their own choice. But now that you become an IDP, you are not busy anymore. You have no work that you are doing. All you are doing is just sitting down and looking at the face of your partner. That in itself triggers a course of action.
Once after looking at the face, what next?
You start having a million thoughts. This is the thing. They are idle. Even in Benue State,
they are not used to pay now.
So many children have been born in the IDP camps. Even if you give them just 1/10, that barely protects their privacy. The testosterone that is running riot will not imagine that this is just a tent that barely covers
essentials.
Provide secrecy. They don't care. So right there, the tent is like a 1-bedroom flat for them and their children.
So in spite of that,
inside that tent, with the children pretending to be asleep, in most cases, today's children are terrible. They pretend to be asleep. The parents are doing it under their...
They don't even need that much time. When you are a refugee, 3, 4, 5 minutes are enough to do the deed.
No. 3, 4, 5 minutes will lead to complaint by the partner.
But
you remember one funny actress. One funny actress that was accusing the husband, the estranged husband, of being a 2 minutes man.
No, I was even generous for 5 minutes.
So you see, some men, and that's what leads some people to their early deaths. They think that it is how long that matters. Because let me take you back. Because an actress popularized the concept of a 2-minute man. So you want to impress your partner, you go and get aphrodisiacs and all that.
Killing all your internal organs.
Doing greater harm to yourself. Well, let's come back to
IDPs
these
in
people. It's
Borno
not their
State.
fault.
So
not their
that
fault.
means
They
what
cannot
we
be
see,
held
what we are experiencing in Borno State will be the same thing that will be happening in Benue State.
Yes.
Will be the same thing happening
Doesn't
in
matter the location.
Borno
No,
State,
that's what is
and they have
happening.
greater number.
Yes,
Doesn't
and
matter the
in fact,
location.
in Borno State, a lot of the children, the offspring of these IDPs are already drug addicts. There's a lot of prostitution going on
Wow.
in the camps, yes. A lot of the time, they want to feed their children. They sneak out of the camp to go and prostitute so that they can get more money to buy food for their children. These are people dependent on handouts. May God not push us to a situation in which we become an IDP. The IDP is dependent on other people
To feed.
for his well-being.
Yeah.
Is looking for
Totally.
people. Yes, the rations that they give them are never enough. So, for some of them, some of the women, they go out to go and prostitute.
And bring the
Come
proceeds.
There was a time that Governor Shetima said he was going to close down the IDP camps in Borno State because of prostitution, drug addiction, and even theft. But at that time, I told him, how are you going to do it? You cannot do it, sir. Because millions of people are in the IDP camps. Where are they going? They can't go back to their
They go back to their
communities.
villages.
That Boko Haram will slaughter them. So you just have to be patient. It's just the same thing with these people. Government has to keep finding the money
To feed
to
them.
provide their needs. That's why there is no substitute to peace. Where there is peace, they will stay in their own homes. They will till their own farms.
They'll be
They
responsible
will
for
fend
their
for
own
themselves.
well-being. Yeah.
They don't need your money. They have that dignity. They don't need your money.
It's unfortunate.
But the way it is now, they are dependent on government.
Everything.
That's why Governor Zulum is bent on returning IDPs to their communities. They want to farm. These are not lazy people. It's just circumstances that push them to become IDPs. Since 2014, some people have been in IDP camp in Borno State. They've not been anywhere else. Their children were born, raised there.
And in 2 years, those children will be 10 years old. And
yeah.
they will not have known any other life
Yes.
outside the IDP camp.
And
Imagine how scary that is.
look at the level of education.
No, forget that one. And people talking about 10-year-olds who don't know any other place, the IDP camps. In 2 years, they will be 10. In 15, in 5 years, they will be 14. 14-year-old boys without a job, without education, without parental guidance.
Different orientation.
Don't
people.
even mention the women or the girls. What will happen to them?
You
So
know,
we are
these ones
breeding
they
a new
they are running
sense.
away from their community. These ones.
We are
After it
building,
was
we are,
attacked.
we, are, we are building a new generation of people that make sure that we don't have peace.
I'll make sure we don't have
Yeah,
peace.
because we are creating them with the condition that they have no other choice. And they have to go to the streets to fend for themselves. And throughout history, whether it's Japan or China, anywhere, once you get to a point where young boys and girls have to fend for themselves, that system will collapse.
Julie, how can we solve this trend?
We have to keep our communities safe. There is no substitute at this stage to state police. All the people, the people behaving like hypocrites, giving the feeling that state police is not the solution. They need to do a lot of rethinking. States are funding the federal police. Look at how much Lagos State government spends on the federal police here. Buying them vehicles, buying them even
Bulletproof jackets.
buying them helicopters, buying them speedboats, these boats that they use.
Gun trucks.
Yes,
APCs.
buying them APCs. I've seen all these ones that fire water cannons and the rest. They buy for them. So now, take away the money that states spend on the police. Let Nigerian states withdraw
Their
from
support.
supporting the police. Let us see whether the police can function on its own.
That's
You know
it.
how much
That's the scary
states
part.
are spending. Yes.
know. That's it.
And every month too, they are coming up even with allowances.
I know.
Beyond the vehicles that they are giving them, they are fueling. Coming up with allowances. And there are some states that even created some form of insurance package
For
No,
them.
they are
so
part,
that
they are
when,
part and
when some
parcel
of these
something.
policemen fall in
Yes,
the
the
line
same
of
thing
battle.
IRS.
Yeah. So what are we talking about? Is that not state police by another name?
I'm telling you.
That's what I said last week.
If they had their own police, won't they be able to fund them
to
the same
fund
way?
them, yeah.
All right.